Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today I am talking about the Blackstone Chronicles Part 5, Day of Reckoning, The Stereoscope by Saul, originally from Random House, little tiny book, part of a 6-part serial. Each book came out a month apart, I believe, back in 1997. And it's all building up to part 6. So in this one, each book has been a different object given to somebody that causes some sort of trouble. In this one, it's a stereoscope, which is an old-fashioned 3D viewing device. For those who don't know, if you can see here, there's a handle, and then the part you look through, and this part back here, you would put a card in there. So you put a card in there, you look through it, and it makes a 3D image. Back before Viewmasters, which were awesome. I loved having a Viewmaster viewer. So in this one, let's see, too long, didn't watch. I just finished it, haven't rated it on Goodreads. This is going to be another 4 out of 5. It's good. It's not as good as the first two. It's well written. All the usual things that I've said about the previous 4 parts. It's got interesting characters. It's an interesting story. It's been building over all of these parts, leading up to the final chapter. The stereoscope and what it does, and the family it involves, which is Ed Becker and his wife and young daughter. We met Ed in the very first book. He was the lawyer for the banker who he had his own story, the banker did, but we met Ed dealing with the bank and contracts and money and the asylum project. I'm not going to go into all of that, but so he's a character we've seen throughout the series. He's the main character in this one, but there's more going on. Each book progressively has been slightly less about the object and the person or people who have received it, and a little more about the overarching story. And there's something that happened at the very, very end of part 4 that gets quite a few pages, or at least a few pages in here. That thing that happens at the end of part 4 carries over into this and just is more of a mystery. We don't know exactly what's going on there. But that is taking up some pages from the story of Ed Becker and the stereoscope. But it's an interesting story. It's an interesting concept, although I'm not sure I understand how the stereoscope is tied to Ed Becker, but I'm not sure how what happens to Ed Becker necessarily has to do with, like, the stereoscope. It could have possibly just been anything. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it seems like the doll in the first part really had to be a doll. And the locket, how do I put this? The energy, the essence, the whatever spookiness that was sort of infused in the locket affected what happened when someone received the locket. I'd say the same thing with the handkerchief, and kind of the same thing with the lighter. Of course, if you haven't watched the other videos, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But it seems less so with the stereoscope. It's still cool what happens. I mean, cool in that horrific way. It seems a little less connected, and there is a connection, but not in the same way. I don't know if any of this makes any sense, but that's basically the main reason this is a 4 out of 5 and not a 5 or even a 4.5. But it's well written. It's interesting. It's all building. I don't know who this mysterious figure is that's passing out these gifts. There are mysteries upon mysteries that have yet to be answered. So very enjoyable. It's going on 8 o'clock on Friday evening. I just finished this, as I said, and I'm going to jump right into part 6. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight or tomorrow because they are very thin. They're all around 80 pages, although it looks like part 6 is a little bit more. But I'm finally going to have some answers. We'll see if John Saul can pull it off. Can he bring it all together at the end? And you'll be with me. And for those who, for whatever reason, might have just jumped in here with part 5, you can go back and watch the first 4 parts of this, the reviews for the first 4 parts of this. Or if you're not that interested, or don't have the kind of time, I will, after reviewing part 6, be doing a video where I talk about the whole everything as a whole and some other thoughts, some things that I've considered talking about, but I figured I should wait until it's all over. Hopefully this made sense. 4 out of 5 stars. Well written, interesting characters, some twists and turns, a big carryover from the previous part, and it's all leading up to the final chapter. So there you have it. The Blackstone Chronicles Part 5, Day of Reckoning, the Stereoscope by John Saul. I'm not doing any questions for these videos. You know, maybe I'll have one for the wrap-up video. Who knows? I haven't gotten that far yet. But if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, excuse me, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH5757. And if you're on Blue Sky, I'm @ELSmith. That's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.